For this tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to create a modal using jQuery. So this is already activity number 2 for our web development uh, tutorial. So okay, let's now start. So the very first thing that I did was try to create a folder inside my activity underscore 02 folder and call it CSS and JS. Okay, so as you can see, I've already created it here. And I've also already turned on my XAMPP since I'm going to run it on my server. Okay, so as you can see also, my Apache and my SQL is up and running. Now, the next thing that I did was basically try to create a file called index.php. Now, this is actually my index.php. So, I'm going to explain it to you guys line by line so that at least you'll be able to understand and also try to replicate the steps. Okay, so since it took me quite some time, by the way, to create this one, around maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So I did everything first initially, then I'm just going to give you the code line by line. So the very first thing that I did, as what I've said, is try to create a file called index.php. Now, once I'm done creating index.php, what I basically did was try to download jQuery. So I got jQuery. Okay, I'm going to open it on my browser. Okay, jQuery. Then you have here jQuery. Okay, so as you can see, I'm already inside the jQuery website. Then I have here download jQuery. I'm going to right click here. Okay, I'm going to click. Then I basically selected uncompressed. So we have here download uncompressed development jQuery 3.6.0. Okay, I'm going to right click here. Then I right clicked here. Then open link in new tab. Then this is it. I just Control A, Control C to copy. Now after copying, I created another file and paste it inside the newly created file and just saved it as jquery.js. So now I saved jquery.js inside my JS folder. Okay, so all of my JavaScript will be placed under JS folder and all of my CSS will be placed under my CSS folder. Okay, so as you can see, I've already pasted it here. My copy jQuery file or jQuery file inside my JS folder. Okay, let me just try to close first. Now, once everything has been copied and saved, of course, I added this line of code. So we have here js/jquery.js. So we have your script language JavaScript source equals to js/jquery.js. Then we have script. Now there's if there's a need for you to put no script, it's okay. But in my case, I don't put it anymore since the way I understand things is that a lot of most browsers nowadays actually can properly read or can properly render JavaScript files or JavaScript. So there's no need for me to put .js, no script. Next thing that I basically did was try to create another file called modal.js. So basically, modal.js will be used for our modal later. So I added it here at the bottom. So as you can see, we have here js/modal.js. So why is it that I added modal.js here at the bottom and not beside my jQuery file? The way I understand how a website works is that it will load everything from top to bottom. Okay, so in order for this particular file to read everything first, it should be loaded initially. That's why I added it here at the bottom. Okay, so now let me just try to explain it to you as we go along. So that's why I added it here at the bottom. Everything has to be loaded first, then that's the time we can actually use our modal.js or what is inside our modal.js. Now, I also added this one for testing purposes that every time we try to click this particular link, a modal will be opened. So we have here JavaScript :void 0, okay, ID is equals to modal. So ID, since basically this is only one link, and if you wanted it to be used in multiple links, then you can use class modal. But Okay, let's try to rename this one as modal dash link so that we will not be confused. This one. Let me try to save it later. So, modal dash link. Click to open modal. Okay. So, if I'm going to open my modal.js, okay, we have it here already. Okay. So, we have here modal. Okay. I'm going to put it here. Modal link. Now, this is only 10 lines of code. So, we have here fade duration. I put it on a variable. Then, every time we try to click our modal dash link, which is this one, the modal will be opened. Okay, so we have here modal dot fade in. Okay, should be fade out. Okay, so we have here fade in, fade duration. Then every time we try to press escape, the modal will be hidden back again. Okay, that's the main concept. We'll test it out later. Now, next is we have here link rel style sheet text slash css, and we have our css modal.css, which is this one. I paste it inside my css folder. Now, what is the content of my modal.css? So, if first I initialized first my dot modal, so everything is in ID, is in class identifier. So, properties of my div. So, I have here my height, which is 300, width is 800, visibility visible. Then background ko, we can just try to remove this part. Okay. Background dash color, we have this one, which is white. Border 1 px, then we have this 6 c's, which is gray. Then we have our solid. Now, in order for us to position our div in the center of our screen, I use position absolute, top 10 pixels. So I wanted it to be to have a gap from the top part of my page, which is around 10 pixel. Then we have your left, which is 50%, 50% from the left. Then margin left is negative 400 pixel. That's just actually one way of trying to center a div, okay, using absolute positioning. So I use this one. Then, of course, we also need to set the visibility of our div, which is display colon none. Next, okay, let's try to go back to our index.php. Now, as you can see, inside my modal, I have here 3 divisions. Okay, so you have your head, body. Okay, change this one also to body. Then we have here footer. Okay, let's try to go back to our CSS. Now, for modal head, these are all of its properties. So, head height is 40 pixel. Border bottom, you have this one. Background color. What's the main difference between background color and color? So, for background color, it's actually so that we can set the background of our, or background color of our object, or of our div in this case. Color, on the other hand, actually is used for the font. Okay. Now, we have our font family, padding top, padding left, font size, I set it to 20. That's for the head. Then, I only wanted it to be curved somewhere on the top. So, I don't want it to have a rounded corners on all 4 sides of my div. So, I only use border top left radius, border top right radius. Okay. We have 5 pixel, 5 pixel. Then, for height, we have around 170 pixel. Why is it that we have here 170 pixel instead of actually subtracting everything with 40 and so on? It's because we have the following. We have padding. Okay. So if you have padding, since we cannot actually put it in all, we cannot actually directly subtract it with our actual height, which is around 300 pixels. Okay, so color, font family, padding top, padding left. Okay, so that at least we'll have spacing, because it's actually quite ugly if you have a website and everything just sticks on the corner. Okay, then we have your font size, 14 pixels. Now for the foot, okay, let's try to go at the bottom here. Now for the foot, you have noticed here border bottom, left, bottom right radius. Okay, if we have here on top, then you have here bottom. So same radius, 5 pixels. Again, everything's basically just the same. Left top padding, font size 14, and so on. So let's try this time to execute or say this time our modal. So I'm going to go back here. Okay, let's try to go back to our page. Click to open modal. So I'm going to click modal. So we have this one. This is our modal. Now, in order for me to close the modal, all I have to do is just press escape key. Okay. That's it. So I'm going to open it again. Then escape. It's going to fade out. So that's it actually. So I'm going to give you guys a source code for this one. I'm just going to put it on the link on our on the link at the bottom of the description. Okay. By the way, if you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Thank you for those who have already subscribed. And also, please don't hesitate to click the bell notification button so that every time I upload a new video tutorial, you will be notified. So thanks guys for listening, and good day.